Your bathroom feels small, it feels dark, it feels outdated, and you think the only fix is a full renovation that costs thousands of dollars. You are wrong. There is one simple color rule that can make your bathroom feel bigger, brighter, and completely modern overnight. No contractors, no demolition, no expensive furniture, just one strategic trick with color, contrast, and placement. Quick safety note before we start. Always work in a ventilated space when using paint, and always check that any product you use is safe for bathroom moisture levels. Now, if you want the exact step-by-step method, plus the small details most people get wrong, stay with me until the end. Hit subscribe right now so you do not miss the next transformation video. Let's get into it. This entire method costs under $50 in most cases. Here is exactly what you need. A gallon of light, cool toned paint, ideally soft white, pale gray, or light sage. This usually runs between $20 and $30 depending on your local store. A small quart of a slightly darker accent shade in the same color family. This is optional, but it adds depth. A roller, an angled brush, and painter's tape, which together cost under $10. A large mirror, or a few smaller mirrors if you do not already have one. Thrift stores and discount shops often have these for $5 to $15. Some simple white or clear glass storage, which you may already own. And good lighting, which we will talk about separately, because lighting changes everything. That is the entire list. No fancy tools, no rare materials, nothing complicated. Now let's move into the actual method, step by step. Step 1. Choose your base color correctly. This is the single most important decision in this entire process. Light, cool-toned colors reflect more light than dark or warm-toned colors. Think soft white, pale gray, light blue-gray, or a gentle sage green. Avoid deep colors like navy, charcoal, or dark brown on the main walls, because they absorb light and make the room feel smaller and heavier. Step 2. Prep your walls properly. Wipe down the walls to remove moisture residue and soap buildup. Bathrooms collect grime faster than any other room, and paint will not stick properly to a dirty surface. Let the walls dry completely before you tape off trim, edges, and fixtures. Step 3. Apply the base coat using long, even strokes. Start from the top corner and work downward in smooth vertical lines. Do 2 thin coats instead of 1 thick coat, because thin coats dry evenly and avoid streaking. Let each coat dry fully before adding the next one. This usually takes around 2 to 4 hours, depending on humidity. Step 4. This is where the real trick happens. The color rule. Instead of painting all 4 walls the exact same flat shade, create a subtle contrast using the same color family. Paint the lower half of the wall or the vanity area in your slightly darker accent shade and keep the upper walls and ceiling in the lighter base color. This creates a visual anchor at the bottom while letting the top of the room feel open and airy. Your eye reads the room as taller and larger because the lightness naturally draws upward. Step 5. Paint the ceiling the same white or off-white as your lightest wall color. Never a contrasting dark tone. A light ceiling pushes the visual boundary upward, making the entire room feel taller than it actually is. Step 6. Position your mirror strategically. Place a mirror directly across from your main light source, whether that is a window or a strong overhead light. This bounces natural or artificial light across the room and instantly doubles the feeling of brightness. If you only have a small mirror, consider adding a second one on an adjacent wall to create even more reflection and depth. Step 7. Swap out heavy, dark accessories for light, clear, or white ones. Dark shower curtains, dark rugs, and dark towels visually shrink a small bathroom. Switch to white, cream, or pale-toned textiles, and if possible, use clear glass jars or acrylic organizers instead of solid dark containers. Step 8. Upgrade your lighting if your current fixture is dim or yellow-toned. Warm yellow light can make a space feel dated and cave-like. A cool white or daylight bulb around 4000 Kelvin brightens the entire room and makes your new paint colors look crisp and clean. This single lighting swap costs less than $10 and takes 2 minutes. Step 9. Keep your color palette to a maximum of 3 tones total. Your light base, your accent shade, and 1 neutral for accessories. Too many competing colors break the illusion of space, while a tight, cohesive palette keeps the eye moving smoothly through the room. Step 10. Once your paint is fully cured, which usually takes about 24 hours, reinstall your fixtures, hang your mirror, and add your light textiles back into the space. Stand back and take a look. This is officially where the transformation becomes obvious. Now, let's talk about the results. Picture the room before this method. Dark, boxed in, walls closing in on you, dim lighting making every corner feel heavier than it should. Now picture the after. The same exact square footage, but the walls feel like they have pushed outward. The ceiling feels higher. Light bounces from the mirror across the room instead of dying in a dark corner. The lower accent shade grounds the space without making it feel small, while the lighter upper walls and ceiling make it feel like it is breathing. This is not an illusion trick that only works in photos. This is a real, visible shift that you notice every single time you walk into the room. People who try this method consistently say the same thing. The room looks bigger, brighter, and noticeably more modern without moving a single wall. Now let's break down why this actually works, because understanding the science makes the results even more powerful. Light colors reflect more visible light than dark colors. It is basic physics. When light hits a pale wall, most of that light bounces back into the room, brightening everything around it. When light hits a dark wall, most of that light gets absorbed, and the room feels dimmer and heavier as a result. The placement of light versus slightly darker tones also affects depth perception. When your eyes see a lighter zone directly above a slightly darker zone, the brain naturally reads the lighter area as farther away or more open, which creates the illusion of height and space. Mirrors add a second layer to this effect by physically reflecting light and visual information, essentially doubling what your eyes perceive in the room. This is the same principle interior designers use in small apartments, tiny homes, and compact hotel rooms around the world. It is simple color science, not magic, and that is exactly why it works every single time you apply it correctly. Now let's cover safety and a few extra tips to make sure your results last. Always choose a paint labeled for high moisture or bathroom use, since regular wall paint can peel, bubble, or grow mold in humid environments. Keep the bathroom ventilated while painting and for at least 24 hours afterward, either with a fan running or a window cracked open. Avoid touching or wiping down freshly painted walls for at least 3 to 5 days to let the paint fully cure and harden. When choosing your color combination, stick to colors within the same family. For example, light gray with medium gray, or soft white with pale sage, rather than mixing unrelated tones that clash and break the visual flow. For long-term maintenance, wipe walls gently with a soft, damp cloth rather than harsh chemical cleaners, which can dull the finish over time. If you rent your space, check with your landlord first, and consider using peel-and-stick wallpaper in light tones as a removable alternative that follows the exact same color rule. Now, let's talk briefly about why small spaces feel cramped in the first place, because understanding the problem helps the solution make even more sense. Most small bathrooms feel tight, not because of their actual square footage, But because of poor color choices, poor lighting, and cluttered dark accessories layered on top of each other. Builders often use inexpensive, dim lighting and neutral beige or dark tile in budget bathrooms, which absorbs light and visually shrinks the room from the moment it is built. On top of that, most homeowners unconsciously add dark towels, dark mats, and heavy curtains, which compounds the problem even further. Color psychology plays a role here too, since darker, denser colors are processed by the brain as heavier and closer, while lighter, cooler colors are processed as open and distant. Once you understand this, it becomes obvious why simply shifting your color choices and light placement can completely transform how a small space feels, without changing a single physical dimension of the room. So let's do a quick recap before you go try this yourself. Choose a light, cool-toned base color and a slightly darker accent in the same family. Apply the lighter shade to the upper walls and ceiling, and the accent shade to the lower half or vanity area. Position a mirror to reflect your main light source. Swap dark accessories for light, clear, or white ones. Upgrade to a cool white bulb if your current lighting is warm or dim. Keep your total palette to 3 tones and let the paint cure fully before reinstalling fixtures. That is the entire budget-friendly color rule that can make your bathroom feel bigger, brighter, and completely modern, all in one weekend, for under $50. If this video helped you, smash the like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel grow. Drop a comment and let me know which color combination you are going to try in your own bathroom. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss the next budget transformation video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.